You know what I'm saying? And we want to start off with Matthew chapter 5, verse 17 through 19. Okay? Verse 17. This is Yahshua the Messiah speaking these words. Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. Prophets, we just read the prophets, right? I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill or to complete. If you look up fulfill, it means to carry out. He fulfilled his destiny. Why? Fulfill what? What was written of him. That's what he's fulfilling. What's written of him. Okay? There's no law. There's nothing that says this man was going to come, the Messiah was going to come and destroy all the law. You see what I'm saying? For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass away, or pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law, till all be fulfilled. Till all be fulfilled. Yep. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments, and shall teach men so, he shall be called least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. Okay, you can comment on that, brother?
I don't have any.
Okay, pretty clear and cut, ain't it? Least doesn't mean you're going to be in the kingdom, but you're just going to be called least. Normally when you're in a place and people are talking about it, they talk about you because you're not there. You see what I'm saying? That's the least that the scripture's dealing with. The ones who are not there. Because they taught men not to keep the commandments. We already read in the Old Testament what happens with people that don't keep the commandments. Okay? Alright, where we going, brother?
Alright, next we're going to, let's go to Acts. Let's go to Acts chapter 17, starting at verse 1. Okay, and we're going to just, we're going to be talking about the customs. Who carried out this Sabbath day, even in the New Testament. Yeah. Okay. Acts chapter 17, verse 1. It says, Now, when they had passed through Amphipolis and Apollonia, they came to Thessalonica, where was a synagogue of the Jews. It says, And Paul, as his manner was, went in unto them, and 3 Sabbath days reasoned with them out of the scriptures. So, now we, you know what I'm saying, we're looking at Paul. We're looking at what was Paul's mannerism, what was his customs. Okay? But see, a lot of these pastors and stuff, they run to Paul to get away from keeping the Sabbath, you know. And that's so right. but Paul was a man who lived according to the scriptures, to the Holy Scriptures. He lived according to this. He taught according to this. Okay? Now, and so it clearly says that as his manner was, he went in unto them in 3 Sabbath days, reasoned with them out of the scriptures. See, there's a difference between, you know, obviously the scriptures, you know, the Holy Scriptures, and the epistles, the writing.
Right.
Okay, there's differences here. So it's telling you that he dealt with the Old Testament.
That's right, the scriptures.
So, right, and which is everlasting, these scriptures. But we're going to talk about what was done away with.
Also, I just want to make a point of, it says 3 Sabbath days. They said that that the first day of the week is that's their Sabbath, right? Sunday is their Sabbath. Why didn't he do it on Sunday and Saturday, or Sabbath and on the day of the week? Because that day is specially for that. The Shabbat or the Sabbath is specially for teaching, reading. You see what I'm saying? Reading the Torah and things of that nature. That's what it's set aside for, as their custom is, as our custom is. Okay? Where we going?
Let's go to Acts chapter 18, starting at verse 1. We're going to read 4 verses. It says, After these things, Paul departed from Athens and came to Corinth, and found a certain Jew named Aquila, born in Pontus, lately come from Italy, with his wife Priscilla.
So these were Israelites then.
Right.
Yehudim. Okay.
It says, because that Claudius had commanded all Jews to depart from Rome.
So all the Israelites was kicked out of Rome. Okay.
It says,
but Roman Catholic, Roman Catholicism, Christianity, all this stuff, they was kicked out of Rome right here.
It says, and came unto them. It says, verse 3, and because he was of the same craft, he abode with them and wrought, for by their occupation they were tent makers. Verse 4, and he reasoned in the synagogue every Sabbath and persuaded the Jews and the Greeks.
Every what?
Every Sabbath.
Reason with them every Sabbath, not every Sunday, every Sabbath, not the first day of the week, the Sabbath, the same Sabbath you read about in Genesis chapter 2, in Exodus chapter 20, and all the other scriptures we read. Okay?
Okay. Verse 5. And when, hold on, wait, we're stopping right there.
Okay. But it said the Jews and the Greeks. So they was in there on the Sabbath too. Where? In the synagogues, learning on the Sabbath. They didn't say, well, hey, we're Gentiles, so we're going to do this on, you're going to come here on Sunday. They said on the Sabbath they were in there. Okay?
1 Corinthians chapter 11.
Okay.
1 Corinthians
Verse
chapter
1.
11.
And we want to remind you that this is the custom. We're dealing with a custom now. This was their custom. So let's read, let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 1. It says, be you followers of me, even as I also am of the Messiah. This is Brother Shaul or Paul telling us, be you a follower of me, even as I am of the Messiah. So I'm following the Messiah. You follow me as I follow him. Okay? So let's see what the Messiah did. Let's see what he does. Okay, we're going to go to Luke chapter 4, verse 16.
Okay. Luke chapter 4, verse 16. It says, and he came, okay, we're talking about the Messiah, and he came to Nazareth, where he had been brought up, and as his custom was. As his custom was.
Oh, okay.
He went into the synagogue on the Sabbath day, and stood up to read.
So he went where on the Sabbath?
He went into the synagogue.
The place of learning, place of teaching on the Sabbath day. Now this is not Sunday. This is the same Sabbath that Brother Paul's talking about. The same Sabbath. Now after he rose again, it's Sunday now. No, it's the same Sabbath. They did this about 300 some years after Yahshua was ascended back into heaven. They were still keeping the 7th-day Sabbath up until that Council of Nicaea. Do your history. Do your research. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Okay? Now we're going to go to Acts chapter 13, verse 13 and 14. Okay, Acts chapter 13, verse 13 and 14 states, now when Paul and his company loosed from Paphos, they came to Perga and Pamphylia, and Johanan or John departed from them, returned to Jerusalem. But when they had departed from Perga, they came to Antioch in Pisidia, and went into the synagogue on the Sabbath day and sat down. On the Sabbath day they went into the synagogue. And after the reading of the law and the prophets, so that's what's supposed to be done on the Sabbath day, the law and the prophets, we followed their lead because he was following the Messiah. You see what I'm saying? The rulers of the synagogue sent unto them, saying, you men and brethren, if you have any word of exhortation for the people, say on. Okay? So I just wanted to bring it out. They taught on the Sabbath day. You see what I'm saying? This is what they did. Okay, I was supposed to stop at verse 14, but we're going to come back to 15 anyway. Alright, let's go to Acts 15, 16 through 22.
Okay. All right, I'm already here.